some of the riders you'll be seeing during the series, they are top liners, world-class riders, TT winners, Grand Prix winners, and up-and-comers who certainly have great potential in front of them. And things don't seem to have changed very much since I used to ride, although there's a lot more money and they seem a lot more professional. Basically, at heart, they really do it for the joy of it, and they're a really super bunch of guys. Pukakoi, which is where the first round of the Marlboro Series will be taking place. It's the fastest circuit during the series, and I've raced a car here, but I've never actually raced a motorcycle. And some of the motorcycles you'll be seeing here during the series and at this race have been developed considerably since I last rode. The tyres are completely bald. They're called slick tyres. They have no tread on them at all. They have cantilever frames, specially designed for racing, and they produce incredible horsepower to the region of 130 horsepower, and they get up to about 180 miles an hour.
Jazz Mortimer, we know you've been having a lot of problems during practice. Are they all sorted out, and what do you think of your chances today?
Well, Mike, I think we've sorted the 350 out. We put a new ignition on it. In the Marlboro race, the 750 races today, I think it depends on the wind, you know. It's getting stronger by the minute. I think if it stays as windy as it is, my 750 is going to wobble so badly. I think I'll probably use the 350.
So far, I'm really pleased myself. We're running the 500 here, and it's the fastest of all the New Zealand tracks. It's going to be a matter of tactics. It's going to be very important to make sure that you're in the right place when it comes time for the end of the race.
Well, Mike, I'm going to try and finish in the first three in every race I go in, and I think I can do that, but pulling one off, that's a different thing. I'm hoping for first. The 750's got a wee bit more in store than Pat's 500's got. The only thing that I'm up against is that I'm not really used to the bike yet. It's brand new, and as the series goes on, I hope we can go faster.
Round 1, leg 1, the longest circuit of the series, Pukakoi. First away is Warren Willing of Australia on an OW29 Yamaha TZ750, racing away, closely followed by Stuart Avant. These two, talking yesterday, said that they were looking for a fast start to burn it right off the grid, and have done exactly that. Warren Willing on the OW29, a beautiful start from Stuart Avant. The bike Warren Willing is riding is an ex-Giacomo Agostini bike, capable of nearly 200 miles an hour. He's doing 170 in the back straight. Stuart Avant will be trying to sit on his tail, and these two both riding for Levi's on reasonably similar machines, both cantilever-framed Yamaha TZ750s. Warren Willing's a little faster, but doesn't seem to have the same handling characteristics as Stuart Avant's bike. The two of them looking to stay together, but that's Warren Willing off to a beautiful start, leaning very low in the corners and showing all his professional ability.
He already has a useful 25-30-yard lead.
And that's how the first leg began and ended, with Willing right out in front. And still lapping at a very consistent 66 after that first two laps at 65 or better. Two Marlboro legs to be held today, and another 4 meetings to go, each with two legs. So Warren Willing will be looking for a consistent performance, and Stuart Avant sitting behind him, although quite some distance behind. The second place is worth plenty of points.
And Warren Willing here going through the hairpin for the last time in this heat, with quite a comfortable, commanding lead. Going through Ruapuna's corner, coming up towards the checkered flag.
So coming right past to take the checkered flag, that's Warren Willing of Australia on an OW29. It's a TZ750 in a cantilever frame. Magnificent performance from Warren Willing. He'll take the checkered flag in first place from Stuart Avant. Stuart Avant second, and third place to Pat Hennen. With Willing out in the first lap, Avant and Hennen settled down to a race-long duel to decide the second leg. Avant and Hennen and Avant. The back straight will tell. This time, it's the last chance he has. It's got to be all on in the back straight. If Avant can pull up that lead, he's going to be back in first place, and this time they come round as the checkered flag. No second chances.
He's not making it. He's not picking him up there. Yes, he is. Pat's braking slightly later. I think that was Avant's last chance there to get back into the lead. Oh, this back marker's going to get in the way a bit, I think. Going through the last bends on the last lap. This could be very exciting.
Pat Hennen just getting slightly held up by a back marker there, giving Stu Avant a chance to get almost up to him and not quite. Coming around to take the checkered flag past this corner now.
And they're side by side. This is incredible.
My goodness, what a magnificent race. We're picking Avant, we can't tell you. It's almost a photo finish right on the start-finish line. It'll be Avant or Hennen. We don't know which, Hennen or Avant. In third place will be Jean-Philippe Aubin.
Congratulations, Stu Avant, winner of the second Marlboro Series.
Pukakoi's racing has left 21-year-old Stu Avant with a tenuous 1-point lead over reigning champion Pat Hennen, with Jean-Philippe Aubin in third place.
You're about 10 yards in or something?
Yeah, it's closer. Too close.
Why did it go so well this time? What was the difference?
Me, I hang my ass out.
Racing at 175 mile an hour is likened by these brave men to a learner driver negotiating big city rush hour traffic in a Ferrari. Jean-Philippe Aubin is Belgian champion and seems happy with his third place, but the hard luck story of the day is Warren Willings.
What happened, Warren?
Just managed to misjudge the wind. It's really unpredictable, and I just went in a bit too close to the chicane marker in the back straight and managed to hit it with my elbow at about 170 mile an hour, and it hurts.
Well, how are you feeling now?
A bit sore. You just can't have an x-ray on it. I don't think anything's broken, but sort of the muscles all really sore.
This is a bit of a disappointment because you had a brilliant start.
Yeah.
Do you think you recover for the rest of the series?
Oh, it just depends on what it is. I think so. Yeah. It's just a stupid thing. Yeah. The wind's just so hard to predict, and I had to go in close to the marker to get through there fast, and I managed to do it every other lap, but not that one.
Day 2 is Wanganooi, the cemetery circuit. Fast, tight and very bumpy. Several riders have already seen just how deceptive some of these ugly bends are. Chas Mortimer, his brother Robin and Randy Mamola were among the first to tumble in practice, but they're certainly not the last. Happily, the only time an ambulance was required was when an 11-year-old spectator fell out of a tree. Though none of the riders was badly injured, most had some pretty harsh criticism of this street circuit as a racetrack.
Chaz, you've had a crash on this circuit. What do you think of it now? Super circuit, loved it. It's a good circuit, no problem.
What happened when you came off around the corner there?
Oh, it was just my mistake. I went in too fast and I hit a bump and I was off.
It's said the Isle of Man circuit is pretty dangerous on streets like this. Is this similar?
I crashed just then, I walked away from it, rode the bike back, so it's not that bad.
Jean-Philippe, what do you think of the circuit?
Very good for motocross, but not for road racing.
Too rough for you?
Very bumpy.
Number 9 is Aucklander Graham Crosby, lining up with the best here to start the second leg of Wanganooi, race 4 in the series. Hennen has the first leg won and wagers are rife that he'll do it again. Stalling on the grid is every racer's fear, and Jean-Philippe Aubin will have to ride like crazy to regain the ground he's just lost. Taupo Key is one of 2 short straights on this cemetery circuit, funneling across a railway line and through a right-hander to a stunted and hair-raising S-section, bordered on either side by an array of not-too-forgettable tombstones. Hennen, after his hard-fought first leg win, is quickly away to lead in the back section and sets a pace approaching the bridge that only true professionals can hope to follow. Local star John Woodley, Australian champion Warren Willing and Stu Avant string out in Hennen's wake as the race progresses, but toward the latter stages, the impeccable American has a lead of almost 200 metres from these 3. Graham Crosby, on a production-converted Kawasaki 1000, has done incredibly well to hold 5th place and already looks like becoming the star of the series. The battle at this stage is between 2 New Zealanders, an Australian and an American, a race between 2 RG 500 Suzukis and 2 750 Yamahas. The Suzukis are a true Grand Prix machine and as such put a big gap between them and the built-up all-purpose racers. They're also considerably lighter than the Yamahas and subsequently easier to steer around a street circuit as tight as this. "15,000 spectators cram the Wanganooi circuit, and race fans and holidaymakers alike are all wide-eyed at the displays of riding ability and vast power of the sleek machines, devouring their normally placid shopping areas at speeds of 130 mile an hour. 120 horsepower takes a lot of leashing, and wheelies are plentiful out of corners. Keeping the 2 wheels in the same line of a corner can also be difficult. With Hennen's lead leaving a long gap to the place getters, an exciting struggle develops down the line, with Avant, Willing and Woodley swapping places like swingers' wives. Woodley rode a brilliant race, finishing second in the first leg, and looked on form once again until, with 3 laps to go in the second leg, he lost 3rd gear and was beaten into 7th place, leaving a 4th place finish to Crosby. Brilliant judgment and dogmatic consistency gives Hennen his 2nd win and a points lead for the series of 7 over Christchurch International Stu Avant. Certainly a deserved win for Pat Hennen, and he looks happy. Unlike most of the overseas riders, he thoroughly enjoys the circuit and thinks racing here is great fun. Is it your riding, or is it the bike so much faster than the rest?
Well, to be honest with you, it's an RG 500 just like the 2 sitting here. And these things are so sensitive, it's a true Grand Prix machine. And the guy that sets it up, it's, that makes one motorcycle out of it, or it makes nothing out of it. They're so particular.
What do you think of the track?
Wanganooi is great. It's just about like riding in the dirt. You're coming out of the turns and it comes up, it's like riding a dirt tracker.
Most sports have their own brand of thrill-seeker come crowd-pleaser. Marlboro has Graham Crosby. His tactics are more akin to rodeo than motor racing, and his mount is a huge, ugly beast built for motorway cruising. And he still finished 4th ahead of racing machines.
How the hell do you stay on it? with a lot of difficulty.
Bummy beat me.
There you go. No, it's a big handful. It takes a lot of strength, I suppose, and I'm pretty stuffed after
this. This is a pretty rough and a pretty tight track. How do you stay on the machine on this?
Just sort of hold the throttle out and sort of hang on and hope the hell it doesn't go away from you.
Severe flooding in the Lower Hutt area in the weeks preceding racing left the natural left-hand Gracefield circuit in a state of disrepair. And as the first leg gets underway, the acceleration advantage of the 750 Yamahas is equalised by the superior ability of the RG Suzukis to handle on a rough surface. Warren Willing and Pat Hennen both get a great start, and a neck-and-neck battle for supremacy begins. Gracefield normally would have been better suited to the Yamahas of Willing and Avant, and the speed excess is certainly noticeable in the straights, where the top speeds were over 150 mile an hour. Willing, after his injury and subsequent points loss at Pukakoi, needs to win both legs to be a serious threat to Hennen's lead, and his determination is obvious through the tight bends, holding Hennen to a more difficult outside line. From the last bend to the start-finish line, the crowd are treated to an exciting finish, but the ex-Agostini OW29 of Warren Willing is just too quick for Hennen to catch. 3rd place goes to John Woodley, with Stu Avant relegated to 4th, having run out of brakes at the end of the front straight on the 14th lap. Hennen is still a clear leader. As the streets, for a few brief moments, become streets once again, there's all sorts of speculation as to who will win the second leg, and Graham Crosby really doesn't care who won. Mechanical failures are not his favourite pastime.
Still riders out there, we ask you to stay.
The safe bet speculators are not too disappointed in the early stages of the second leg at Gracefield. Willing's lead is a healthy one until an ominous-looking sign comes out from Hennen's pit crew, and incredibly, the little American just trims a second a lap from his circuits as if he'd done it every day before breakfast. Willing, possibly getting complacent, looks over his shoulder to see the Suzuki right on his tail and looking for a slipstream tow along the straights. Pat Hennen is a remarkably tactical and intelligent rider, and his performance is never better than when he has someone to catch. Hennen has now wrested the lead from Warren Willing, and once again a struggle emerges for minor places. Crosby looks a little unstable, but manages to stay upright while scaring the pants off spectators and fellow riders. Needless to say, racing for him is an interesting if unpredictable experience. Back at the lead, Warren Willing is not being beaten easily and manages to get past Hennen again, but it's only a brief moment of glory and Hennen passes in the S section once again. The crowd at the start-finish line sits and guesses again as the two race wheel to wheel at the back of the track. But the first man to appear out of the last bend is Hennen, and once more it's a sprint to the line. Hennen now takes his series lead to 12 points from Stu Avant and John Woodley. Willing and Hennen each have a first and a second to their credit today, and Willing, like other professionals, will spend the next week in the workshop.
Wanganooi, I was reasonably happy with the performance there. I don't particularly like the circuit, and it doesn't suit the 750. I went okay in the first couple of races. I started to get a bit tired towards the end of the last race, and I finished sixth. But at Gracefield, I was happy with the first two races. Pat pulled out some extra speed, which he didn't have in the earlier race, which sort of caught me napping.
Well, our bikes are made, well, my bike particularly was made for European racing, which is long, fast corners, and there's nothing like Wanganooi or Gracefield. And the suspension on my bike isn't good for the short travel, bumpy sort of track that we've been up against. So I've had a few problems around these tracks holding onto the thing, but now we're back onto my home ground and onto sort of tracks that my 750 is suited for.
Last week at Gracefield, you started off well and got a very good start, then you seemed to drop back, especially in the second leg. What happened there?
In the second leg, I ran off the end of the track. I ran out of brakes. We've had a few problems with the 750. It hasn't been going quite as good as what we hoped. It's been very, very reliable, but after a couple of laps, it slows down quite a lot. Day 4, Timaru, a conventional left-hand 1-mile circuit with two long sweeping left-handers, a back straight and an exciting S section leading to the grid. It's all smoke and horsepower off the grid, with number 9 Graham Crosby getting a brilliant start and a good line into the first corner. But this is a race circuit and racing bikes are hard to stay in front of for long. Through the first lap, it's Hennen with Willing and Woodley hot in pursuit, and Englishman Chaz Mortimer in 4th place.
John Woodley is riding like there's no tomorrow and taking an incredibly low line through corners, scraping pipes and fairy. He's determined to make up his lost points and look like he's prepared to ride to the limit to do it. This Timaru circuit is exciting to ride and provides plenty of passing positions both back and front. Australian Jeff Sale has been plagued by mechanical failure, but is certainly a style rider, here holding 5th place behind Hennen, Willing, Woodley and Mortimer. Some of the internationals we've seen little of thus far are starting to improve their performances, and there's no easy margin of performance for anyone. Just watch the breakneck speed of John Woodley in this corner. We'll follow him down the S section and see if he can catch Warren Willing. Well, luck wasn't on Woodley's side there. Confusion reigns in this subsequent melee, and John will spend the night in hospital while race organisers try to sort out who takes what placing. The judge's final decision, Hennen, Willing, McLaughlin and Mortimer. Stuart Avant also crashed at Timaru and spent some time in a hospital bed, but here 1 week later at Christchurch he's in good form and all riders are out and ready to race. Ruapuna, the final circuit, 1 mile long with an 800-metre straight, a long left-hander and a hairpin leading to the S section. A very fast and popular track.
For the last leg of the Marlboro, the final race, Pat Hennen is in a position now where he can't be beaten. It wouldn't be surprising at all to see him not racing very hard. It's going to be a tussle for 3rd and 4th place and for 2nd place as well. Pat Hennen is 174 points now. 2nd place, Warren Willing is 143. In 3rd place is Chaz Mortimer. He's in equal 3rd place with McLaughlin on 122. And Stuart Avant is at 119. He's in 5th place. So Pat Hennen could not be beaten. Warren Willing's the first man out. Warren Willing on a TZ 750. Closely followed by John Woodley, who's on an RG 500 Suzuki.
The last leg at Ruapuna was a repeat of the first leg at Pukakoi, with Willing untouchable, followed by Hennen and Avant.
And still Warren Willing from Pat Hennen. Warren Willing coming up to take the white flag, 1 lap left to go. And the 4 people that he's about to lap are riders who have been up in 4th and 5th place, so they're not slow people at all. Warren Willing is really flying. In Australia they call him the Red Rocket. Won the Australian Championship, the Open Championship this year.
All he has to do now is stay on and pray that his machine keeps going, because there's no way he's going to be beaten. Half a lap to go, less than half a lap to go now. It's a checkered flag for Warren Willing.
Can we get 2nd and 3rd place, please? So we'll see a checkered flag come out this time for Warren Willing. The back markers going through on their last lap. There's the checkered flag for Warren Willing.
there are a few people that were a bit optimistic at the beginning as to whether I'd be able to take a 500 and be competitive. They were a bit worried, you know, well, what if things don't turn out? Then what do you do after that? And I was always, you know, pretty jazzed about the idea, because coming here to New Zealand, there's the racing itself. It's really important for my sort of progressing. You take a race in Europe, and then there's 2 months layoff, and then you come to the Marlboro Series, and by no means it's extremely intense racing here, because you're always close, and there's always somebody, you know, that'll take your place if you're not trying that little bit extra. And then I go home, and it'll be about just a bit over a month, and we'll be into the season again. But these breaks and the layoff in between, I can take and relax and take a trail bike and go out and experiment on other things, and it gives time for the road racing itself to kind of sink in and become an instinct, kind of second nature. And this sort of on and off racing works out really well.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the Marlboro Series 1977, and without doubt it's put New Zealand on the map for international racing.